Hi everybody, it's Kathy, and today's video I'm going to show you how to deconstruct a golden book to make a journal. It's really very simple. I had some requests to show how to do it, and I just did it from trial and error, and this is what I came up with. This would be my third or fourth golden book journal. Today I'm using Good Night Aunt Lily, and let's see when this is written. 1983. So this is a relatively new book. Okay, the first thing I do is I want to get underneath this spine in order to take the staples out. And there's usually two staples, one at the top and one at the bottom. So I use a little Cricut weeder tool to get underneath the spine. And it feels like it's like right over here. You don't have to worry about messing the spine up. It's coming off, and voila, I see the staple. So I stick my tool under there. You know, this would probably work if you had a staple remover, which I don't have. But if you do, it might be relatively easy if you have one. That might be something I need to look for. When I was an administrator and a teacher, you know, I always had them. Of course, now when I need them, I don't. I'm using just this wire cutter that I use with when I'm making jewelry. And I'm just going to cut it off, and that should be fine. I'm going to go hunt for the other one down at the other end. And you can't really, it's hard to feel. There it is. I find it. And let's try to get underneath it. Of course, this ruins your weeding tools, so use one that you don't care about, because you'll bend the end. And again, I'm just going to cut this off, because what I'm looking to do is remove the pages inside and the cover. Okay, so I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to tear it away gently. And because I didn't take the staple all the way out, be careful not to cut yourself. But as you can see, it's pretty intact. Because this was a relatively new book, it was much easier. Some of your older golden books, you know, you have to be really careful because they'll crumble. And the cover's intact, but we're not going to worry about the cover today. I'm just taking you through how to keep your book in sequence. So we're not going to go through how to make the entire book. So what I want to do is find the folds. And these are tricky because they glue together the folds. This one naturally came apart, which is great. And it looks like there's 3 pages on this side. 1, 2, 3. And they'll probably be the same number on this side. 1, 2, 3. Right? Yeah. So what's fabulous about this is that they lend themselves to making 2 signatures. So these measure, let's see, they're about 13 inches. You want to keep the folds intact. They're 13 inches and about 8 inches high. So because I only have 12-inch paper. That's what I'm going to use for the paper that I add. And because I want to keep them in sequence, what I do is I've prepared the papers already, the types of papers I want to put in. I'm going to use regular scrapbook paper, not cardstock. And the scrapbook paper is going to serve as both the colorful additions to my book, but it's also the white part is going to serve as journaling space. What I've done in the past is I've added plain journaling paper, but I'm not going to do that because it's terribly small. What I will do is if I find I get really tired of the white journaling spot, is I glue a couple of pieces together and we make pockets. So I'll glue them back to back and then make some full page pockets. But that's for another time. Let's go through. I'm going to want to keep the cover page by itself. Then I want to put a piece of scrapbook paper here, and you want to pick one that you want to use for the cover, for the front. And I'm going to use this one. I think it's pretty because of the dark sky. So I'm going to put that in here. And what I can do, let's see. I'm always hesitant to do this, but I think that I can cut off some of the edges from these two books. So I'm going to cut off about, let's do an inch. And an inch. And it's not going to hurt the story. There's about a half inch, a little more than a half inch border on each page. So I didn't hurt anything. I don't usually like to trim it like that because it does take off some of the beautiful artwork. But I don't think it spoiled it. I didn't take away any of the words. So it just looks much better when your paper is matching up a little better. And this paper is 12 by 8. So I'm going to add actually another piece to the other side. And I'm going to add this blue paper because what that will do for me, it would allow me to make a full page pocket. And it's kind of nice because it goes with the water and such. Okay. And when you lay your paper in, you want to make sure you're opening it up and laying across both of the signatures. Okay, and this is a little brighter here, so I'm going to add some polka dots and some lemons. And I turn pages back to back. That way you have a nice white journaling spot, but you also have some beautiful colors as well. So we're going to do that here. Although, okay, that's good. Okay. And there's so few pages, I'm going to add some stars and some yellow. And I'm going to add some deli paper. Okay, that kept everything intact. So we have the start of the book. We have the first page. We have the colorful second page. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Then we have the next page. Everything's still intact and in sequence. Then we have this page, and all of this still remains in sequence. Okay. Now I would probably go back and add, I'll do that right now. I'm going to add a few more pages to the book because there simply is not enough. It's too flimsy of a signature, I think. And I'm going to add one here. And I kind of like the blue up against that with the house. So I'm going to actually go like this. I think that's pretty. And I'm going to add another one in here because I want that to be next to the other one. I'm going to add this and this one. Oh, they're the same color. I don't want the same color next to each other. Okay. And some more here. And we'll put this bright red one. And the telephone one next to each other. Okay, that gives us a few more pages, and it'll be pretty once we decorate it and add our tuck spots and all the goodies that we love to add. Anyway, you get the gist of it. I'll do it quickly to the other one as well. And this obviously has to be folded a little better than what I've done. So I'm going to set that aside and bring up the other one. And did I cut this one? I don't remember. Geesh. Yes, I did. Okay. So on the front, I think we'll do the red. Kind of the big top, huh? And the polka dots. So the polka dot will be our cover of the second signature. Then we're going to, we have one here. Looks like Grandma needs some tea. So we'll put these there. And also add a half deli sheet here. And then we have one more. They're in the kitchen, so we'll add the lemons. And we'll add the box, the cubism, under here. And then, because that's the end, here's one more. Want to add the green there to go with the Christmas tree. And I'll add this one. And we'll fold it together. Oh, it has to actually go this way because I want it here. And we're going to add the deli paper. I always like to add deli paper because it adds some different textures, which is always nice. And we're going to add the houses. And we're going to go back one. And we're going to add the flowers over here. And let's add another deli paper here, simply because I have it. And I think that'll do for our second signature. So, we deconstructed the book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut right along here. And these are very easy to cut with a pair of scissors right up on the fold. And then what I'll be doing is, it comes out really nicely. I'll be putting this on top of craft board. And I have craft board here somewhere. Let's see. So I'll be putting it on craft board. I actually need to get a bigger piece, I believe. Yeah. It needs to be about, you know, a ½ an inch on either side longer so it covers nicely. Anyway, you get the gist of it, I believe. Please try these golden book journals. They're such a joy to make. They really are. This is going to go on the back. And if you feel like it, drop a photo of what you do in the comments. That would be great. I would love to see what you do. I want to show you one that I've just finished. And I love it. And this is the Saggy Baggy Elephant journal. And what I found is I found material that's kind of like the spine on a golden book. It has the black and a little bit of goldish. I added some beads and some ribbon, kept the cover intact, and then covered the front. This one I put, I believe, a 2½ inch spine. And see how pretty it looks? I always add rhinestones. I reinforce the edges of this one because this was an older book. And the colored paper just looks so pretty. And you see how I made full page pockets by putting the papers together. And what that does is it really reinforces and makes this paper a little stronger. Now I did put in this paper. You see that it's shorter. I might do that. I'm not sure. I usually do it, and I don't think it matters that it's shorter, but Here's the deli paper. I added some napkin decoupage too. And I just love it. These are some fabric pockets. I didn't make these. I purchased them already made from Renee Devana. Found her on Facebook. She's wonderful, and she made a lot for me, and I purchased them from her. And here's some more decoupage napkins. These designs, which I fell in love with, are Vicky Sawyer. I bought them on Amazon. They weren't cheap. Her napkins are not cheap with her design. But you get so many, you don't use them that much, and I just think they were so worth it. More deli paper. More pockets. You see, with all of the scrapbook paper, I made pockets out of them. Or at least, if I didn't make pockets, I did glue them together to give more stability. I used a lot of lace. And you see the reinforcements. See how pretty it looks with the scrapbook paper? I added rhinestones to the ends of the string for binding, the binding string. This was a little book that I made with a little gem, and I love this. This is a little envelope with little hearts inside a little bucket, little basket. And then I just cut a little slit, and then that sits down there and keeps it closed. This was a triangle pocket. I always like to make those. I think they add some interest. Lots of places to write. More pockets. Paper. Remember I said I always include the end of the book. This I made into a flap. Another pocket. This is a kind of a pocket I just cut a V into. I thought it was pretty. And a card with some buttons that I sewed on. And a vellum bag that I made. These bags are so much fun to make. I take tracing paper. I've said this before in other videos, so pardon me if you've already heard it. I take tracing paper. I take all the other paper out of my printer. I put, and it's 25-pound tracing paper. I put that in my printer, print out some designs, and then I spray the paper with clear coat by Rust-Oleum. I learned that from Nick the Booksmith. She has a video on it. And what it does, it gives it a glossine type feel and translucence to it. And then I take that tracing paper and make bags with it and such. So it's pretty, and it's adds some different elements to your journal. Lots more paper. They're so cute. Another pocket. More pockets. The center of the journal. More pockets. Full pockets here. And made a little book out of the little thing you take out of the book. I don't think this one came with that. The other half of the paper bag, and a full page pocket, and then a little tuck spot in the back, little corner tuck spot. And that's my Golden Book journal. So I hope I helped you today. If you were interested in making a Golden Book journal, I get my Golden Books. Usually I buy them from someone on Etsy. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to find them in a Salvation Army. But you can find them online in Etsy, and they're not that expensive. Not as expensive as I thought they would be. So I'm looking forward to making this into a journal. And talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't mind, and would you put a thumbs up in underneath the video? I would really appreciate it. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.